Louisiana, in the early 1900s, was a place with many African slaves who were in use in the shipyards of the coast. This was the birthplace of something truly American. As jazz made its way through the 20th century, it developed and broke off into many different branches to form techno music, country music, rock, hip-hop, heavy metal, and most other modern types of music. In the late 19th century, African slaves used their traditional music in an attempt to keep working so they would not be punished. The music involved many cries and moans in a call and response type setting. This broke into two smaller groups, which then spread to the creation of ragtime, the first known jazz. In the early stages, there were three main groups: ragtime, blues, and brass bands. Ragtime consisted of fast tempos and very simple instrumentation. Blues is the widely most renowned jazz, and brass bands played at funerals, usually up-tempo music to keep the mood of the funeral up and lively, to remind the people there of the deceased and their good times. The arrangement complications began to get ridiculous, and this made even more and more different types. Instrumentation and stylistic changes also had to do with this, as here, the clarinet was actually the first melodic instrument of jazz, which later changed to the saxophone. I am a drum set player myself. There are many different styles of drum set and all kinds of jazz. I've been learning over 5 years. I have had some struggles with more complicated charts, such as 2 years ago I was in Jazz 1, and there was a chart that the key signatures were crazy, but I was on drum set, so the time signatures switched from 5/4 to 4/4 to 5/4 to 4/4, and they were everywhere. So the complications of the charts have proved many players and made many players even greater than they could have been. This music was also the beginning of most modern music, such as rock, metal, hip-hop, and techno. It wasn't only the beginning of the ideas, it was also the beginning of the instruments for these, such as the electric guitar, the electric bass, hi-hats for the drum set, and in the 90s, stylistic changes such as straight eighth notes instead of swung eighth notes. Synthesizers came in, and they were then synced with computers to be able to have techno music, and funk was also made very popular in the 90s. Many things today don't come from the same place or time either, such as jazz to rock. No one really gives jazz the credit for creating rock music, such as not many people can understand that electricity actually came from some guy flying a kite in the 1800s. So as you can see, there are many humble beginnings. And these are also usually very stereotypical. Things may not always come from when or where you may think. Be knowledgeable about their beginnings to better understand why they work in the fashion which they do.